Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to PyroFalkon's Let's Play. Oh yeah, you didn't do the stage the proper way the last time because you P-winged it. We're playing Super Mario Brothers 3 with TheAkamura. And in the last episode, TheAkamura had a nice little rant that I'm not going to repeat the dealings of because it would take the whole episode.
Watch the last episode.
Watch the last episode. Watch all the episodes.
Watch all of the things.
But what I was going to add at the end of that
all
was...
the stuff. Smoke all the weed.
Oh my god.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yes. And
Got it.
in addition to whatever makes you happy, don't piss on someone else's happiness. The only exception I ever have to that is if someone is hurting somebody. You know?
Yeah.
Like, if there's a douchebag who is happy by murdering people, yeah, go ahead and end his happiness.
That guy.
But, you know... And basically what it came down to was or what brought that on in the last episode was talk about fan fiction. And that there are people who want to put rules on another person's work of fiction. It's not just fan fiction, though. I mean, you know, people bitched and moaned when Dumbledore came out, and J.K. Rowling was in
People bitched and moaned about Dumbledore coming out because it was like a subtle thing. It was never really explored. And they're like, that's not queer representation.
I thought basically that...
his sexuality doesn't matter.
Well, not only does his sexuality not matter, but J.K. Rowling was in a bad situation with that whole deal.
Yeah.
Because since he never came out, like, he really never even did come out. It was J.K. Rowling who said, hey, yeah, he was gay. So, there was, because there was no point to it and it didn't ever really add to the story, it was like, I think the more crazier, rabid, you know, people who are the kind of people we don't like, who are all about gay rights and underrepresentation and wanted to bitch and moan about it, it's like they felt that they were screwed over because there wasn't enough of Dumbledore's sexuality in the books. And then hardcore people on the right were upset because he was gay at all, and that was bad, according to them. And then the rest of us were a little irritated because it was like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, the rest
Why
of
did
us
you even
were
bother
like,
mention it?
Yeah, the rest of us were like, oh, good for him.
So it was a no-win situation. It's either go, I don't know, to me it's either go all out with it. Well, let me rephrase that. It's like either acknowledge it from the beginning and then get it the hell out of the way, or just don't even bother with it. Because what's the point? There is no point.
Yeah.
You know. So, what are you doing? Oh, you're looking for a stage? Yeah, stage 6. Or the castle. I want you to have that red mushroom house, because that's another Tanuki suit. That's the only place we get them. So, I don't know. The whole deal with gender stuff and sexuality stuff would just be a lot easier if everyone would just respect everyone.
Yeah.
And I know that's like oversimplifying it, but sometimes it really does come down to that. It's just...
Yeah. The only reason it's a... Fuck.
That's fine.
The only reason it's a daunting thing right now is because assholes.
Yes, because assholes. And... because assholes ruin everything. Assholes are the ones who don't just say whatever. And like I said at the beginning of the series, this has been a really serious series given that we're playing freaking Mario 3. But anyway...
Fuck! Of all the places to die!
Let's see. Okay, Zion says he's shipping me and Zane, or me and Yoshi, or me, Zane, and Yoshi in a love triangle. And he's calling it Pyrene McYoshikun. Nice. I like that.
That's a lovely shipping portmanteau.
Oh yeah, yes it is. So I don't know. But you know, that's another thing. Like, there are those people who are like super sensitive, who are oversensitive, in fact, who say things like, you know, they don't even want to imagine this situation where they're shipped. You know, that kind of thing. Like, they're so paranoid about it, they can't even handle being shipped. And the internet is one of those things where, like, if you are popular at all, you're going to get shipped with someone. It's just sort of the way the internet works.
Yeah.
So if I was, like, all sensitive and scared about it, I would, you know, be freaking out right now and telling Zion to shut the hell up. But that's...
Shut up, man! No homo! I'm not gay! He said, screaming loudly in a YMCA.
Where is that from? That's hilarious.
I just came up with that.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Plus 10 points. There was a do you know who? Of course you don't. I don't know. There was a professional soccer player named Mario Bartinelli, and he's black in a sport that is very not black. And he was subbed out of a game recently, and when he went to sit down, he apparently got barraged with a shit ton of racist comments, and he started crying. And of course, there were the dumbass comments about that he was a pussy for crying and all this shit, and fuck it. But there was I need to stay out of the CNN comments section, because I read that story on CNN, and they mentioned some dumbass commenter said something like that it was such an emotional scene. He said, quote, "It's such an emotional scene that I cried. I'm not gay or anything, but I cried." And I'm
it's
like,
not gay to cry.
Oh, fuck, dude. And it's
like
so homophobic, too, to say something like that.
That was the manliest shit you can do. What happened to people?
There was, in the book I'm reading for, The Guns of August, about World War I, they mentioned that everybody who was involved in that war, like all the leaders who were involved in that war, knew how bad it was going to be. And a lot of them, including Winston fucking Churchill.
Oh, fuck. Oops.
A lot of people, including Winston Churchill, even cried when they talked about the war, how they considered it, and when they started talking to each other that the war was inevitable. They cried because they knew there would be a lot of deaths, and it would be ugly, and, you know, no one really wanted the war, but it just sort of happened. And, you know, not even the Germans wanted the war, even though they sort of made it happen, but they didn't really want it. And all of them cried, because none of them wanted the war, none of them wanted the death. But they, like, there was one, and I don't remember who he was, but one of the leaders was, like, giving a speech about, you know, how this is the future and everyone will be fine and, you know, the war is necessary. And he couldn't even finish the speech. Halfway through, he started crying, because he didn't want it either. He was just, you know, being the bravado leader that he had to be.
Yeah, it's like... It's back on topic. If you are like so insecure with yourself that you cannot show a basic human emotion, that I have nothing but pity for you.
Yeah, or if you're so like paranoid about the whole situation. I mean, there's always a time and a place for emotions, and there's a time and a place when you shouldn't show emotions, and I get it.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't, like, it shouldn't be this blanket problem that you're showing emotions.
Yeah, limiting your personality due to incredibly outdated social mores nowadays, but, like, limiting yourself like that is stupid.
I actually find it ironic you call that outdated, because really, like, that's the direction society points. I mean, we may not like it, we may think it's wrong, but it's not technically outdated if that's the way society is at the moment. You see what I'm saying?
It's like...
But yeah, I agree that it's wrong. I mean, it shouldn't matter. This whole manly man kind of attitude that the world has is annoying.
It seems right now the only people, like, clinging to that are, like, douchebags in fedoras that...
Who don't even wear fedoras. Yeah,
that stereotype of just awful sociopathic guy.
Yeah. Did I show you that clip that, or that link that... Oops. That Crowbeak sent me? That,
you didn't hear that. Shut your fucking mouths, you didn't hear that.
That's a bleep on the replay for YouTube. Anyway.
Fucking cut you, you didn't hear that.
Crowbeak sent me a link that, oh yeah, I showed you, that talked about the different hat types, and that most people who are wearing fedoras aren't actually wearing fedoras, they're wearing trilbies.
Trilby! It's such a pleasing word, it's so happy.
It's almost as happy as the Russian song.
And yet it's been commandeered by assholes.
Like a lot of things that are good. Well, the Akamura doesn't take the... Why did you use 2 mushrooms?
I don't
What are you doing?
What am I doing? Stop!
Well, she tries to do the next airship in a goddamn frog suit. You'll see that on the next episode. Thanks for watching it.
Come watch the clusterfuck.